Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on isolation verse extensions, or staff moves with poi. So what an isolation verse extension is, it's a hands together move where one poi is extending on the outside, and on the buzzsaw plane on the inside the other one is isolating, and it looks like this. So as you can see, the inside one is isolating and the outside is extending. So this concept seems to be a little difficult for people a lot of times. It is a weird move. It kind of just, me and my buddies just call it rowing the boat, because that's what it looks like you're doing. But there's actually a lot of concepts you can build off of from isolation verse extensions. So what you want to do, first off, the extension is what's leading in this case. So I can get my extension going, and I can just have this poi hanging, and if I put my hand in, the extension leads it, and if I keep my hands together, it automatically will isolate the poi that's on the inside. So one way to get comfortable with this, it's really odd for most people, or it just doesn't compute doing a hands together move. So one thing that helps keep it in split time is getting that extension to lead. So you want to just practice with just one and just have your hands together and get comfortable with this motion, and you want your extension going on the exact same path that the isolation would go on. So once you get comfortable with that, it really just takes some muscle memory of getting comfortable with your hands together. But once you get comfortable with that, it's not too difficult. It's really just convincing your brain that your hands want to stay together. So as you can see, your hands travel on the exact same circle for the isolation and the extension. So if you just draw that circle the size of your isolation, you'll get them nice and clean every time. There's some of the things you can go into isolation extensions, or branch off from isolation verse extensions with. You can take an isolation verse extension fountain and you can anti-spin it. And this will actually trace the pattern of the Star of David. So you can actually have, it's a triangle that's pointing up and a triangle pointing down laid over one another. What else can you do? You can do an isolation verse extension weave, and you can do all sorts of stuff with it. You can learn how to body trace it and everything else. But isolation extensions are just real interesting, because when you're spinning fire or flow lights, it actually looks like you're spinning a staff right in front of you here. So those are isolation verse extensions. Just remember to lead with your extension and have that isolation follow it. And this one takes a while. This is like some of the first tech that I learned. It took me a couple of months to get into isolation verse extensions. Once you do, you can really just grow with it, and there's so many concepts that you can apply to it and just add all sorts of cool looking moves. Hope you guys enjoy those ISO extensions. Row that boat.